Middle and high school years are filled with changes, just not in the classroom. Often friendships are tested, and those situations can be emotionally difficult to deal with. In today's Back to School series, WSAZ's Marley Pinchuk talked with a retired guidance counselor who shares advice on how you can help your child navigate tough transitions.
The changes with transitioning into middle school and high school go beyond academics. Navigating friendships also comes into play. Parents may find your child's friend group shifts as they are placed in different classes, make a sports team, or join a club. Tracy Ryan, a retired guidance counselor, says for a child, these experiences may feel confusing, emotional, and overwhelming.
Adolescence is a very hard time, and change is hard for anybody. And when you're in those set social circles, whether it's through church, through school, and then you're facing something that's quite different when you go to a middle school and or a high school, because your classes change, your friendships change, and it's very hard.
Ryan recommends parents, even if you don't think what your kid is going through is a big deal, be supportive and make them feel seen and understood.
And I jokingly say I didn't even like my own kids when they were in middle school, but that's not true. It's just they're very hard to deal with, and they're very emotional. They have a lot of ups, they have a lot of downs. It's important as a parent to be in tune to what your child is going through. And so you may think it as something so trivial, but to an adolescent, it's devastating. It's huge. You know, my perception is my reality, and that's how kids are. Their perception is their reality, and they're never going to see things the way you do. And we as parents have to also learn it's important to be kind to our kids, to let them know that it's okay to be upset. It's okay to have these intense feelings. It's what you do with those feelings that really counts.
As a parent, when you think your child is struggling with the loss of a friendship, it may be instinct to try to push them towards other kids to fill that void. But Ryan says that may not be the best course of action.
Well, I think as parents, we see when our children are hurting, and it's very hard. But parents have to quit being what I call helicopter parenting. You've got to let your kid make choices. They're going to hurt sometimes. They're going to have feelings that are intense. Help them deal with that, but do not force your child into any friend group. Things will come naturally. Be a support to your kids. Let them know that it's normal that they feel this. How can I help you? How can I help you work through it? Encourage them to find an activity, whether it be in middle school and or high school, that they can be involved in that would be healthy. Because if you don't help your child find that activity, they're going to find something, and you may not like what they find, and that's important.
Even when your child finds their group, there's always the chance those friendships may not last. Ryan says whatever the case, sometimes all your child really needs is to be reassured everything will be okay.
In middle school, it's a much smaller group, and then when you go to high school, the group widens, and you may have different interests, and you're involved in different groups, and that's okay. That friendship's still there. It's just not as intense, and you're not doing absolutely everything together.
And while they are growing and learning, Ryan says there is one timeless lesson you as the parent can never teach enough.
One of the things that's very important and that I think you should always teach your children is no matter what, you can always be kind.
Marley Pinchuk, WSAZ.
We also talked with Dr. Ashley Stevens with Cabell County Schools, who says a great way to start new friendships is by finding out what your child's interests are. If it's a certain after-school club, you could nudge them to sign up for that. The same goes with trying out for sports. Bottom line, encouraging your child to feel confident in what their interests are and developing friendships that way is going to be much healthier than trying to fit in with groups that they cannot be themselves in. If you would like to see today's Back to School story again or watch the previous stories Marley has done this week, you can scan that QR code right there, and it takes you to WSAZ.com's Back to School page.